Vice Chancellor of the University of Dar es Salaam, Excellencies, esteemed members of the Peace and Security Council of the African Union, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished students, co-chair of the Network of Think Tanks for Peace, and distinguished lecturer, members of the panel, ladies and gentlemen. For the African Union, we are marching towards a new continent. And this continent is so unique because it demands the peace and security we want. It demands the stability, the democratic trajectory we want. But I'm not the lecturer. The peace we want must be the youth empowerment. The peace and security we want must speak about women empowerment and women emancipation, women political role. The peace we want must speak about the democracy that delivers the public good. The peace and security we want must be sustainable. The peace and security we want must ensure that child protection is at the heart of our response to conflict. The peace we want is the peace that guarantees development. The peace we want must facilitate effective development. The peace we want is all about the peace of the haven of peace, which is Dar es Salaam. So, what we have today is a crystallization of 2 decades of the African Union Peace and Security Council. And the African Union Commission, under the leadership of His Excellency Musa Faki Mohammed, we are very pleased to be associated with this standing decision-making organ of the African Union. We really want to thank the University of Dar es Salaam and all the supporters of this project, including one of our founding members in terms of His Excellency Salim Ahmed Salim, who served gloriously as Secretary General of the then Organization of African Unity. The Niger Leadership Institute, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the United Republic of Tanzania. All these have been pivotal to making this happen. But our goal, Excellencies, is to tap into the wealth, the rich discourse, the school of thought that is embedded, epitomised, symbolized in this university. A prominent center of excellence for the entirety of the government and the people of Tanzania did one favor, one very unique favor for Africa. That is, this was the home for the Liberation Committee of the Organization of African Unity. What we see today in terms of the freedom, 30 years in South Africa, in terms of the liberation of Namibia, in terms of the liberation of Mozambique, in terms of the independence for minority rule in Zimbabwe. I can go on and on. It was because Tanzania provided the political will, the political leadership for the liberation of our continent. I believe Tanzania deserves a round of applause. So, Excellencies, Vice Chancellor, students, today we are trying to open up an interactive debate that will shape the discourse between theory and practice, between practice and performance. The next 2 decades will be crucial for the continent. I can see young faces here. The future is yours. And this debate will ensure that we hear your voice before we go into the formal sessions tomorrow. The youth of Africa must hold the African Union responsible for the peace and security that we want. I thank you so much for the opportunity.